Be valuable, not merely available. There is a deep difference between the two, and once you understand it, your life, your relationships, your calling, your destiny, and your very soul will transform. For too long many of us have mistaken our constant presence, our constant giving, our constant saying yes to everything, as a measure of our worth. We have believed that the more available we are, the more loved we will be. We have believed that to be forever accessible is to be accepted. But oh, how cruelly wrong that lie has been, because availability without value is exploitation in disguise. And when you diminish your value by scattering yourself in every direction, you forget the richness of who you truly are. You are not meant to be a doormat for the feet of the world. You are meant to be a treasure chest, a living testament to the glory of God, a vessel carrying a light so radiant that it must be honored, preserved, and cherished. I say to you, when you make yourself constantly available, you give away pieces of your soul for free, and the world, being what it is, will take and take until there is nothing left of you. You must learn to preserve your sacred flame. Your life is not a revolving door that anyone may enter and exit at their whim. Your time is not a toy to be borrowed when convenient. Your love is not a currency to be spent on the ungrateful. You are not here to be consumed. You are here to be celebrated. And celebration only comes when people recognize the depth of your worth, the beauty of your being, and the majesty of your value. So let me speak directly to the heart of the matter. To be valuable is to know that you are rare. It is to know that you carry inside you gifts that no other person in the history of this world has ever carried, in exactly the same way. You are one of one, and anything that is one of one cannot be cheap, cannot be common, cannot be treated as though it is replaceable. Your presence is not ordinary, it is extraordinary. But if you let yourself be everywhere for everyone, at every time, for every reason, you dilute the power of your presence. And soon people stop noticing you at all. Why? Because what is always available becomes invisible. Water in the ocean is rarely admired, but the rare jewel, hidden and precious, is sought after with reverence. Stop trying to be ocean water for people who only wanted a sip. Be the diamond, be the pearl, be the crown jewel that shines because it has learned how to protect its worth. My beloved ones, do not confuse love with servitude. Do not confuse kindness with depletion. Do not confuse humility with invisibility. Love is powerful, but love is not slavery. Kindness is holy, but kindness does not mean destruction of self. Humility is beautiful, but humility does not mean erasing the very image of God inside you. You must stop confusing your worth with your willingness to be used. If you give yourself away in small crumbs, people will grow fat on your sacrifice and starve you of your purpose. You must rise up with a new kind of boldness. You must claim your value. You must declare with the authority of heaven itself, I am valuable, I am not merely available. And I tell you, when you begin to walk in the fullness of that truth, you will scare some people. Oh yes, you will, because they were addicted to your yes. They were dependent on your constant presence. They thrived on your endless availability. And when you close the door, when you say no, when you pull your light back into yourself, they will call you selfish. They will call you arrogant. They will call you distant. But do not bend to their accusations. Remember this, the people who profit from your weakness will always fear your strength. The ones who enjoyed your availability will always resent your value. But you must love yourself enough to endure their displeasure. You must love your destiny more than their temporary approval. Be valuable, because when you are valuable, your presence shifts atmospheres. When you are valuable, your voice carries weight. When you are valuable, your yes means something because it is not given cheaply. If you are always available, your yes is hollow, but when you are valuable, your yes is divine. Your yes changes lives. Your yes opens doors. Your yes builds kingdoms. Protect your yes, Guard it as though it were gold, because it is. I tell you this truth, a person who has not learned their value will always find themselves drained, disappointed, and discarded. Look at your life. Look at the times you said yes when you should have said no. Look at the friendships you maintained long after they stopped honoring you. Look at the relationships where you kept showing up even when they had already walked away. Look at the times you answered every call, replied to every text, rushed to every emergency, and afterward found yourself empty, broken, and wondering why no one ever showed up for you in the same way. It is because you were more available than you were valuable. And I do not say this to condemn you, but to awaken you, to shake you from the slumber of self-neglect, to pull you from the grip of people-pleasing, to remind you that you are more than a servant to other people's comfort. You are a child of God, crowned with glory, stamped with eternity, and filled with infinite worth. Hear me clearly. Being valuable does not mean arrogance. It does not mean pride. It does not mean shutting the world out in cold disdain. No, it means walking with dignity. It means showing up when it matters most, not when it matters least. It means giving your best to the places, the people, the causes, and the callings that are worthy of your energy. It means being so rooted in your purpose that you no longer scramble to be seen, because you already know you shine. It means choosing quality over quantity, depth over surface, legacy over popularity. Value is not loud. Value does not beg. Value is not desperate. Value stands tall, steady, unshaken, knowing that when it speaks, the world will listen because it carries truth. Beloved, you must understand that the mindset of availability is born from fear. Fear that you will be forgotten. Fear that you will be replaced. Fear that you will not be loved if you do not constantly perform. But fear is a liar. And as long as you live in that fear, you will always find yourself bending, breaking, and betraying yourself for the sake of being chosen. But here is the great secret: when you are valuable, you do not need to chase being chosen. When you are valuable, you choose yourself. And when you choose yourself, the right people, the right opportunities, the right blessings, and the right doors will choose you. Value attracts. Availability repels. Because what is too common is never cherished. You are not meant to be common. You are meant to be a wonder. You are meant to be remembered. You are meant to be a living poem, written by the hand of God Himself. And poems are not meant to be trampled. They are meant to be read with reverence. If you live your life constantly available, you rob the world of the awe it should feel in your presence. You must stop hiding your greatness behind busyness. You must stop offering your brilliance to those who cannot see it. You must stop silencing your value with endless availability. And I speak to you not just as individuals but as souls, because this world will drain you if you let it. This world will convince you that your worth is tied to your productivity, that your value is in how much you do for others, that your beauty is in how well you serve without asking for return. But the truth is this: your worth is eternal. It was written into your bones before you ever took your first breath, and your only responsibility is to honor it, to guard it, to protect it, to magnify it. You must wake up every morning and remind yourself, I am valuable, my time is valuable, my love is valuable, my mind is valuable, my spirit is valuable, and because I am valuable, I will not throw myself into places that cannot honor me. I will not make myself constantly available to people who misuse me. I will not give myself cheaply to the ungrateful. I will be wise. I will be discerning. I will be strategic. I will invest my value where it will multiply, not where it will diminish. And let me tell you, when you begin to live with this mindset shift, everything changes. You stop attracting takers and start attracting builders. You stop drawing leeches and start drawing leaders. You stop being a background character in your own story and step into the starring role. Your peace increases. Your joy deepens. Your confidence grows. Your purpose expands. Because you are no longer running around desperate to be seen, you are standing tall, radiant, luminous, and undeniable. Be valuable, not available. Let this be the mantra that reshapes your days. Because when you choose value, you teach the world how to treat you. You teach people that your presence is a gift, not a guarantee. You teach them that your love is sacred, not casual. You teach them that your time is priceless, not purchasable. You teach them that your destiny is divine, not disposable. And in doing so you free yourself from the prison of people-pleasing and step into the palace of purpose. So I say it again, and let it echo in the chambers of your spirit. Be valuable, not available. Walk in that truth, live in that truth, speak in that truth, and you will find that everything you have ever longed for, respect, love, peace, joy, abundance, destiny, will flow to you, not because you begged for it, but because you finally stood in the fullness of your value. Be valuable, not merely available, because the moment you shift from begging for attention to embodying your worth, the world begins to rearrange itself around you. You see, there is a profound spiritual law at work. The world mirrors the way you treat yourself. If you cheapen yourself, the world will cheapen you. If you abandon yourself, the world will abandon you. If you undervalue yourself, the world will underestimate you. But if you rise each morning clothed in dignity, wrapped in the certainty of your worth, carrying yourself like royalty, then the world will take notice. Doors will open that once seemed welded shut. Conversations will shift in your favor. Even the ones who ignored you will feel the weight of your presence when you enter the room. Because when you know your value, you do not have to announce it. It is felt. It is sensed. It lingers in the air like the fragrance of rare perfume. But how many of you have spent years bleeding yourself dry to prove your worth? How many times have you bent over backward to be chosen, to be loved, to be acknowledged, and still walked away unseen? How many tears have fallen on pillows in the silence of the night, because you gave everything, and were left with nothing? How many times did you go against your better judgment, just to keep someone close, only to discover they were never truly yours to begin with? This is what happens when you confuse availability with value. You hand over the keys to your soul, thinking that someone will treasure them, but instead they drop them in the dirt because they never earned the right to hold them. You must learn this hard truth. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves to sit at your table. Not everyone deserves to drink from your cup. Access must be earned, and only those who recognize your value are worthy to walk beside you. Understand me, my dear ones. Being valuable means learning the holy art of saying no, the small word with enormous power, the word that can save your spirit from despair, the word that guards your energy, your time, your destiny. No is not cruelty. No is not arrogance. No is not rejection of others. No is a yes to yourself. No is a yes to your peace. No is a yes to your growth. No is a yes to the path you were born to walk, and you must not be afraid of it. For those who truly love you, those who truly respect you, those who truly honor you, will understand. They will not shrink away when you stand in your truth. They will applaud it, because people who know their own value always celebrate it in others. And let me speak plainly, because the truth must be told without fear. Some of you are tired, not because life is heavy, but because you keep carrying people who refuse to walk. You are drained, not because your dreams are impossible, but because you spend your days watering deserts instead of gardens. You are broken not because you are weak, but because you keep giving pieces of yourself to those who were never meant to hold them. And if you are honest, you know this is true. The exhaustion you feel is not from your calling, it is from your availability. The heaviness you carry is not from your destiny, it is from your inability to guard your value. You must release yourself from this bondage. You must choose wisely. For every yes you give to the wrong thing, you are saying no to the right thing. And every time you make yourself too available, You rob the world of the fullness of your value. Be valuable. Walk like your footsteps carry the weight of history. Speak like your words are seeds planted in eternity. Love like your heart is the crown jewel of heaven. And give only when your giving enriches both you and the one who receives. This is not selfishness. This is wisdom. For even the ocean knows when to pull back its waves. Even the sun knows when to hide, so that night can come. Even the earth knows how to rest in winter, so it can bloom again in spring. Do not think yourself stronger than the laws of creation. If even the universe guards its rhythms, who are you to live constantly available, never resting, never retreating, never protecting your value? Let me tell you something you may not have heard enough. You are worth waiting for. Your presence is worth anticipating. Your yes is worth cherishing. And the moment you stop giving yourself cheaply, the moment you stop answering every call, the moment you stop pouring yourself into empty vessels, the right people will show up. The ones who see you as treasure will not mind waiting. The ones who honor your value will not demand your constant availability. They will understand that rare things take time, that valuable things are never rushed, that precious souls are never trampled. If someone cannot honor your boundaries, they cannot honor your value. And if they cannot honor your value, they do not deserve your availability. Now listen to me, because I want these words to rest deep in your spirit. Your value is not in what you do, it is in who you are. The world has lied to you, telling you that your worth is tied to your work, your performance, your achievements, your service. But I say to you, your worth was sealed the day you were born. Nothing you do can add to it. Nothing you fail to do can diminish it. You are valuable because you are you. You are valuable because you are here. You are valuable because you are a living miracle, a breathing testimony, a heartbeat of heaven clothed in flesh. So stop trying to earn what has already been given. Stop trying to prove what is already true. Stop exhausting yourself with availability when your value is already beyond measure. And perhaps the greatest tragedy of availability is this: it robs you of becoming who you were destined to be. While you are busy running after everyone else, your dreams lie waiting. While you are busy answering every demand, your purpose grows restless. While you are busy stretching yourself thin, your destiny waits with folded arms, whispering, "When will you choose me?" Do you not know that the world needs your greatness? Do you not know that there are lives waiting to be touched by your calling? Do you not know that you were sent here for a divine purpose that cannot be fulfilled if you continue scattering yourself into the wind? You must choose. You cannot be available to everyone and still be faithful to your calling. You cannot pour yourself into every cup and still overflow with the abundance God placed within you. You cannot be everywhere for everyone and still be where you are supposed to be for yourself. So I call you to rise. I call you to walk differently. I call you to move with intention, no longer desperate to be chosen, but confident because you have already chosen yourself. No longer scattering yourself in every direction, but focused on the path of destiny that stretches before you. No longer afraid of being called selfish, but courageous enough to protect the treasure of your soul. You must step into this truth with the authority of a prophet and the boldness of a king. Be valuable, not available. And when you do, you will watch as everything around you changes. Because when you stand in your value, the wrong people fall away, the wrong doors close, the wrong distractions fade, and in their place come blessings, opportunities, friendships, and love that are worthy of who you are becoming. Be valuable, not available. Let this be the song you sing to yourself when you are tempted to return to your old patterns. Let it be the whisper in your ear when you feel the tug of guilt trying to pull you back into constant giving. Let it be the reminder in your spirit when someone tries to shame you for saying no. Let it be the promise you live by as you walk into the fullness of your destiny. and let it carry you forward into the kind of life that does not leave you empty, but overflowing, not broken, but whole, not forgotten, but unforgettable. Because the truth is this: the world does not need more people who are constantly available. It needs more people who know their value. It needs people who carry themselves like light in dark places, who stand tall in the face of compromise, who walk boldly in the authority of their worth. It needs people like you, awakened, empowered, radiant, unshaken. So rise, my beloved, rise and be valuable, rise and walk with dignity, rise and let your life testify to the truth that when you honor your value, you honor the God who created you, and in that honor, everything changes. Be valuable, not merely available, because when you live in the fullness of your value, you begin to understand that your very existence is a divine appointment. You were not sent into this world to be endlessly consumed, to be pulled apart until there is nothing left of you. You were sent here to shine, to create, to elevate, to stand as a living monument of what it means to walk with purpose. And purpose cannot thrive where boundaries are broken. Purpose cannot grow in soil that is constantly trampled. Purpose cannot blossom in a soul that has surrendered all its energy to being everywhere for everyone. You must be courageous enough to gather yourself back into yourself. You must be brave enough to say, I am no longer pouring my pearls into hands that cannot see their worth. And I know that this is not easy. I know the temptation of people pleasing. I know the way your heart trembles when you say no. I know the guilt that lingers when you choose yourself over the endless demands of others. But hear me clearly, guilt is not always truth. Sometimes guilt is the voice of your old self trying to pull you back into chains. Sometimes guilt is the echo of all the years you were conditioned to believe that self-abandonment was love. Sometimes guilt is the sign that you are finally breaking free, and freedom will always feel uncomfortable at first. Do not confuse discomfort with wrongness. Do not confuse guilt with sin. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is guard your own soul. Sometimes the most divine thing you can say is no. Sometimes the highest act of love is choosing yourself, so you can become the person God called you to be. Think of how many lives have been wasted in the shallow pools of availability. Think of how many brilliant minds never wrote their books because they were too busy answering calls that drained them. Think of how many artists never painted their visions because they were too consumed with being present for people who never truly cared. Think of how many destinies died, not because the person lacked potential but because they lacked boundaries. How many stories will the world never hear because someone spent their life trying to be liked instead of being valuable? My heart aches at the thought, and yet the ache is not final because today is not too late. You can still choose. You can still reclaim what has been scattered. You can still decide that your value will not be lost to the sands of availability. Beloved, when you step into your value, you will not only transform your own life, you will transform the lives of everyone around you. Because when people witness someone walking with dignity, it awakens something deep inside of them. It makes them remember that they too are valuable, they too are worthy, they too are more than their availability. When you rise, you give permission for others to rise. When you say no with grace, you teach others that they too can guard their boundaries. When you choose yourself, you show others that self-love is not selfishness but sacredness. Do you not see the ripple effect of your value? Do you not see that by choosing to be valuable, you are not only saving yourself, you are saving generations? And I tell you the truth, the ones who resist your value at first may one day thank you for it. They may call you selfish now, but later they will realize that your strength showed them a new way to live. They may resent your no today, but tomorrow they will respect the courage it took. They may try to pull you back into constant availability, but when they see how your life flourishes in your value, they will be inspired to do the same. You are not only protecting yourself, you are teaching the world how to honor itself. You are lighting a path where others can follow. You are declaring, it is possible to be loving and still have boundaries. It is possible to be kind and still protect your soul. It is possible to be giving and still be valuable. Do not be afraid of the wilderness that comes with choosing value. At first, when you stop being constantly available, you may feel alone. You may feel abandoned by the ones who were only there for your yes. You may feel the silence of fewer calls, fewer texts, fewer requests. But do not mistake this silence for emptiness. It is not emptiness, it is clearing. It is space being made for what is true. It is the weeds being pulled so that new gardens can grow. The silence is not your enemy, it is your sanctuary. It is in the quiet that you will hear your own voice again. It is in the quiet that you will hear God whispering, reminding you who you are. It is in the quiet that your value will no longer be drowned out by the noise of constant demands. Do not fear the quiet. Embrace it. Because from it will emerge a new life, a life rooted in value and blossoming with purpose. And when you live in your value, you will find that the right people, the ones who are destined to walk with you, will never be threatened by your boundaries. They will not need your constant availability to feel secure. They will not measure your love by how much you sacrifice yourself. They will honor your no as much as they honor your yes. They will respect your time, your energy, your presence, because they too know their own value. Like calls to like, and value recognizes value. The wrong ones may fall away, but the right ones will arrive, and they will not demand you diminish yourself to be loved. You see, the shift from availability to value is the shift from living as a servant to everyone else's expectations, to living as a steward of your own destiny. And stewardship is holy. God did not place gifts inside of you so they could be squandered on every distraction that knocks on your door. He placed gifts inside of you so you could cultivate them, grow them, and release them at the appointed time. But if you keep wasting your energy on availability, when the appointed time comes, you will be too empty to pour out what He placed within you. Protect your gifts by protecting your value. Guard your purpose by guarding your time. Honor the God who made you by honoring the worth He placed in you. And let us not forget the truth that value grows in silence, in patience, in discipline. A diamond does not form overnight. A pearl is not created in a moment. Gold is refined only in fire. All valuable things require time, protection, and process. So it must be with you. You cannot rush your value by scattering yourself everywhere. You cannot cheapen your process by trying to be everything for everyone. You must let your value deepen, strengthen, and shine through the seasons of your life. And the world will wait for it, because anything rare is worth waiting for. So I call you once again to choose. Choose to no longer be the one who is always available. Choose to no longer be the one who says yes out of fear. Choose to no longer be the one who confuses love with self-abandonment. Choose to stand tall in your value. Choose to walk boldly in your worth. Choose to protect the flame of your destiny with every boundary you need to create. Choose to be valuable, not available. And when you make this choice, you will see how everything else begins to align. Your peace will deepen. Your purpose will expand, your relationships will transform, your life will rise. Because being available might make you liked for a moment, but being valuable will make you unforgettable for a lifetime. Being available might keep people close, but being valuable will draw the right people closer. Being available might get you temporary attention, but being valuable will build you eternal legacy. Do not waste your life chasing temporary attention. Build legacy, build purpose, build value. And in doing so, you will find that everything you ever longed for, love, respect, fulfillment, destiny, was waiting for you all along, waiting for you to stop scattering yourself in availability and step into the fullness of your value. So walk forward, my beloved. Walk forward with your head held high. Walk forward with your boundaries intact. Walk forward with the authority of one who knows their worth. Be valuable, not available. And watch as the very ground beneath your feet shifts, the heavens open, and your destiny unfolds in ways more beautiful than you ever dared to dream. Be valuable, not merely available, because when you finally choose your value, you step into the rhythm of eternity itself. You stop living